The Sims 4 doesn't really have the flair, it doesn't have the vibe that we got from The Sims 2 and 3, and we're most certainly not getting any kind of ambitious pack anytime soon. So I wanted to make a pack wish list based on things that I think could be realistically possible in The Sims 4. I came up with a huge list of things and then I basically removed everything that was too ambitious, everything too exciting. So we've only got like some kind of like mundane things that could potentially exist in The Sims 4. And I think it's necessary to talk about because the more recent packs have just felt kind of rehashed, especially if you look at the most recent expansion pack, Love Struck. It's basically like the relationship dynamics from Growing Together, but coded in a slightly different way maybe, and the event system from My Wedding Stories done in a slightly different way. It's basically just rehashed stuff. I almost swore, but then I realized we're at the start of the video. I didn't want to get demonetized. Also, I'm not going to talk about things that like we know are coming, like with the brand new Life and Death pack. We're probably going to get graveyards and I've wanted those for a while, so I'm not going to talk about that stuff. The first thing I would really love to see is a proper treehouse. Now you're probably thinking, Satch, we literally got a treehouse in Growing Together, but it's not a real treehouse. It's more of just like a gameplay object which they go into like a rabbit hole. And I want a proper functional, like not like a kid's treehouse, but I mean like a literal house on a tree. And we had that kind of in The Sims 3. Just bear with me as I try and get The Sims 3 to load because it keeps crashing. I believe we're going into Moonlight Falls, the Supernatural pack. There is an absolutely cracking lot in this world. Okay, was it you, Goodfellow? I think it may have been you. Okay, I want to show you this lot because it's absolutely cool. So this lot is a literal like tree house. You can't see it because all this crap's in the way. But this house is literally like on stilts. Okay, we've used some columns on stilts. And can you see the way that these branches just like come out of the tree house? These trees were like specifically shaped. Can you see how it's got like the 3 prongs coming out of it? These trees were shaped so it looks like they're holding up the build, and as a result you can literally have a literal tree house because the house is literally being held up by all these trees. You can't see because it's all fading out. Do you guys get what I mean? Obviously it doesn't look perfect because like the build mode in Sims 3 wasn't it, but it goes to show like something like this is possible. Imagine like a Sims 4 pack which came with trees that like convulsed, I feel like that's the wrong word, like they came out at the sides and they fit around like a room. So you could put like, you can make a literal tree house, and we got a new foundation which actually looked like tree stumps, or columns that look like tree stumps, and you could make a proper tree house. Wouldn't that just be really cool? I'd love that in a kit. I'd also like some fairies too, you know, although I don't think they're coming. The next thing I would really love to see is a community lot kit. Literally every single community lot in The Sims 4 uses this one base game sign on all of them. Every single one of them uses this sign. And you know, we do have some other random wall signs. For example, we got the restauranty ones that came with Dine Out. High School Years came with this random one. Like we've got random ones here and there in just like random packs, but they're all just so randomly spread out, and like no person realistically is buying all of the packs. Nobody can afford it. The only way you're going to be able to realistically do it is if you use, which I don't condone. This is why I think a community lot pack would just be so good, because we could get some brand new signs to use for any kind of community build that you like, whether that be a shop, a swimming pool, a museum, a park, a library. There's loads of different options. Also, you know these stalls which come with like random different packs, these food stalls? We don't actually have any of them in the base game. Imagine if a kit literally just came with 2 food stalls, okay, in 2 different designs, so you have some variation. One sounds savory, the other sounds sweet. They could just do base game foods, and then we have one of these in the base game that you could use in a community park that could go in the exact same pack. It could come with brand new fountains, or just maybe 1 or 2 fountains that you could use in a park. I just think it would be really nice to just have some random stuff that you could use in a community build. Okay, next up I would like a doors kit, and you might think, Satch, why on earth would they ever make that well. Once upon a time, they made a plants kit and it just came with a load of random plants. The kit comes with one thing, plants, and that's pretty much it. And as far as I'm aware, this kit actually went down very, very well. Most build mode players consider it one of the best kits. So what about another kit which just comes with a load of the same thing? I'm talking doors, okay? What about a new archway? We don't really have that many. I feel like the archways, they're not very good. What about just like a curved one that's like single tiled, kind of like this? What about like prettier versions of these base game doors that we use in every single build? Because whatever build you do, tell me right now you're not using these same base game doors in all of your builds. Everybody loves them, so why don't they just update them and make prettier ones and put them all in one kit? This kit could also come with brand new fences and gates. I've complained and ranted for ages that we don't have any like two tiled fences which are just like short. Oh, it's glitching, it's not even working. All of the fences in game, there aren't like any two tiled ones which are shorter. And in terms of tall fences, we don't really have any one tiled fences that are like this. So if you use a tall fence, it's only just like one thing. And this could also coincidentally come with a base game update where they can make it so that fences, you can freely place them. Just like with doors, you can do it very smoothly. We can't do that with fences yet. So imagine if we got an update for that, plus like a kit with like doors, fences and gates. I personally think it would work really well. Maybe that's a stretch, I don't know. Okay, the next one is a little bit less cursed, but I genuinely think it would work really well. You know, like those people who have like smart homes, like it's usually the iPhone users, like, you know, when they have like the Amazon Alexa thing, but then they have like those smart light bulbs and they have like literally a smart everything and it's like all interconnected. Did you guys hear the story of that guy who had an entire Amazon smart home and an Amazon delivery worker accused him of racism? So Amazon punished him by turning off every single smart device in his home and like cancelled him, and it was like hugely controversial. So everybody's now like totally put off from having smart devices in their home, but obviously the iPhone users, I think a kit like this would appeal to them. I feel like this one would have to, being realistic, this would have to be a stuff pack because it would come with some gameplay. So you know, like those Ring doorbells, okay, imagine like a doorbell for The Sims 4 that was like a Ring doorbell that you put outside your home. Obviously it would work kind of differently, but you could have some functions like a cross-pack function, like adding like a garlic spray or something if vampires come to you a lot and it sprays them and they go away as like a smart thing. Like obviously it would have to work differently in The Sims 4. I feel like they could do something with that. Do you know what I mean? They could even do a smart light bulb maybe that matches your Sim's mood, which could be interesting. In the base game, we do have this smart speaker which can actually do a wide variety of things. We could have like a re-swatch of that. It could come with like an electronic mirror, you know, like those technological mirror things. I don't really know what they do. We could have a smart fridge. There are genuinely so many things they could do with like a smart devices pack, and they could do their own like knockoff Sims. I'm basically giving them all these ideas for free. EA needs to be paying me. They could be doing like a fake Google Nest, Amazon Alexa kind of like brand in The Sims, and like all the devices will be a part of this brand. Like there's so many things they could do with it. And obviously because it would have to be maybe a stuff pack, they would obviously have to include create a Sim stuff. And what they could just do is like that, you know, like when Apple do those like announcements and like they wear that like office stuff but it looks like very clean, like, you know, that aesthetic, like the Apple aesthetic, the fashion. I think it could come with that kind of fashion. I think there's a lot they could do with it. I just feel like it'd be a really fun idea. I've never even heard anybody talk about it, so you let me know what you think. Okay, this one is such a stretch. I am so obsessed with Dress to Impress. What am I doing? A middle-aged man playing Dress to Impress with 8-year-olds. It's a bit weird, really. I'm just obsessed with it. I'm so obsessed with Dress to Impress. It totally like matches the Sims demographic. Like the Dress to Impress and Sims demographic are exactly the same. Imagine like a Dress to Impress pack for The Sims 4. I mean, we've already got an interior design pack with Dream Home Decorator. What about Dream I don't know, Dream Sim Dresserator. That was terrible. I mean, we already have Moschino stuff, but it's not the same. You just work as a fashion photographer, wasn't implemented very well. Like what? Like imagine if you could like be the model as like a live career, but you've got to like address yourself or something, like dress through breast and other people roast you. Wouldn't that just be so good? I would love to see that. I feel like it could work so well if they implemented it right. They would probably have to do it, I think, as a game pack, although EA aren't making game packs anymore because, well, they are making game packs, they're just labeling them as expansion packs, so it'd probably be an expansion pack realistically, and it'd probably be very buggy, glitchy and broken, but the concept, I just feel like it would work so well. We haven't had live careers in The Sims 4 for ages. I really miss live careers. Get to Work is obviously like the live career pack, but like we got one with Get Famous. Did we get any with other packs? I can't remember, but I just feel like it'd be really fun and it would be a really great live career kind of thing to do, kind of like Dream Home Decorator. The next thing I really want is a masculine fashion kit. The modern menswear kit, I don't even own it. You guys know I'm not woke. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, inclusivity, like absolutely not. No man is wearing a bloody dress. This is ridiculous. This is not men's fashion. This is woke bullshit. You guys cancel me on Reddit every single day. Like honestly, I couldn't care less anymore. So yes, it is bullshit. For those of you who want this kit, lovely, but it's not what I wanted. And I feel like we need to have a brand new men's fashion kit, which is actually masculine. Honestly, like the first haircut I've ever really liked for male Sims was in the Home Chef Hustle pack. They actually tried really hard to do a men's fade and it actually looks really good. In Love Struck, they did this one too, which actually looks really good. They did this one, which I actually think looks good. They are capable of doing it. I was yapping on for ages at them for doing new fades and we finally got a few. They could still do more. It is kind of obvious that the Sims team do get a lot of inspiration for packs from Pinterest. So like just look on Pinterest, make like men's hairstyles, find a few. You don't have to do fades. You don't have to constantly do fades. Even though I am deep rooted in mullet phobia, it is possible to have like a sexy mullet. Like there are different options. And in terms of like cast in general, we don't have much. I genuinely don't understand why they can't do men's fashion that well. I mean, when they did the Inch on Arrivals kit, this is actually honestly the only pack which I think does men's fashion justice. Obviously it's a certain aesthetic, but it genuinely looks really nice. It's the only pack that looks nice for men's stuff. Whenever I say this, you guys say to me, but such men's fashion, there's barely any men's fashion in real life. Actually there is, you're just not looking. And you know, we do get a lot of stuff like this. Again, I'm gonna be like so not woke and say like absolutely like none of my Sims are wearing this, none of your Sims are wearing this. You can convince yourself, oh, this is so cute, but you're lying to yourself because none of your Sims are wearing this. In fact, name one male you've seen wearing this in real life, you liar. This is not masculine. EA loves to just chuck feminine things into the masculine option. It's exactly the same in that kit, and it came with some earrings like these ones. Like, this is not masculine. Tell me right now this outfit is masculine, you liar. You might see something like this in the leather pup tent of a pride festival, but in real life you're not seeing this. Stop chucking feminine things into masculine for the sake of diversity and actually include masculine things. I think Love Struck generally did a little bit better with masculine stuff, but they could have done even better. Because another thing I'd like to mention, because you guys are going to say, well, what can you do with men's fashion? Well, I could say the exact same thing about the women's. Okay, blouses, but they all look kind of like slightly different, even though they're all, I guess you could say, blouses. Just as how the women's section has a million different t-shirts, you can also have a million different t-shirts in the men's section which all look different, which fit their frames properly, which look nice. I don't think it's much to ask. Again, normally I would say things like I want Elders gameplay, like retirement homes, graveyards, like they're probably coming in the brand new pack that's coming, so I won't bother mentioning those. You guys let me know what you think. Out of all of my ideas, could you tell me which one you think was the best and which one you think was the worst? Because I would really love to know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.